And lastly, to print an interim, I'm going to go to my physical science since I've already added some grades to them. To print an interim, you'd select the class you want and you'd go to reports. The report you want is an individual student report, summary of class activity per student. All of these reports, when you double click on them, they give you some options, and I can choose some options that I want, notes that I want to put. I could add a line for the signature over here. In the criteria, I tell them what I want it to be on the printed thing, whether I want it to come out as a PDF or export it to an Excel file. PDF probably makes the most sense. I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't want to abbreviate. We'll see how that looks. Later on in the semester you may want to, because you might make the report so big. But with 3 grades, it's not going to be any big deal. And then I'd want to include final grades, assignments, comments, and categories. Now, for the date range, that would depend on where you are in the quarter. Right now I'm just going to go with Q1. Obviously all Q1, those would be the same thing. But maybe later on in the second quarter, you still want them to see their first quarter grades, then you could click all. If you only want them to see second quarter, you just do Q2. If you just want to look at the grades that they earned this week, maybe you are on a plan with a student. But for most of us, it's going to be Q1 or Q2. And then you just say run report. Now, you have an option to save it. I would actually encourage you to save it. That way you have a record that you did print the interims or that you created the interims, and you can actually go back when a student says, I lost mine, and reprint just their one page without, them playing that game of, well, I didn't take the one home that I was supposed to take home simply because it had missing grades or whatnot. You still have a copy of that one that went home at interim time. You can just click open. If you open, obviously you can save once you open it. But if you say save report, it'll prompt you to save it, and I might call it individual report 9-6, so I know when I printed it. Say save, and now it's going to be on my desktop. If I go back to my desktop, there's my individual student report. It will have printed out 1 student per page, a report in their grades. Very simple.